Have you ever stopped to think about what really awaits us beyond this life? I'm not talking about theories or empty speculations, but a grand promise, a vision that goes beyond anything we can imagine. For many, the idea of heaven is shrouded in mystery, but the Bible reveals details so stunning that it's impossible not to be amazed. A place of indescribable beauty, where pain and sorrow are nothing but forgotten memories. Now here's something that might sound counterintuitive. Heaven isn't just a place of eternal rest. Oh no, it's so much more than that. It's a place of life, purpose, and action. A place where every moment is a discovery, every encounter a gift, and every step brings us closer to God's glory. Sounds distant, doesn't it? But what if I told you that understanding what's ahead can completely transform how we live right now? Many people search for answers to life's deepest questions. What happens when everything here comes to an end? Is there really something beyond this life? And if there is, what's it like? These questions carry the weight of our fears and hopes. But what if I told you that God has already prepared the perfect place for those who love Him? A place that doesn't just meet our deepest longings, but surpasses them. In this video, we're going to explore every detail of this divine promise together. From the majesty of golden streets to the roles we'll play in eternity, you'll be blown away by what God has in store. And here's the best part. This vision of heaven isn't just some distant idea. It teaches us how to live more fully right here, right now. So get ready for a journey that might just change the way you see life. Because when we truly understand what's waiting for us, we realize the answers have been within reach all along. And trust me, what's to come is so much greater than any dream we've ever had. Picture a place where pain and sadness just don't exist. Where every sunrise bathes the world in a radiant light, not blinding, but warming your soul. Heaven is described as a place of complete fulfillment, where your heart finds peace and your spirit is constantly renewed. Who hasn't dreamed of leaving behind life's hurts and scars? Well, in heaven all that becomes a distant memory, replaced by a joy so intense it can't even be compared to anything we've ever experienced here on earth. Now, imagine living in a place where time isn't your enemy anymore. No clocks ticking away the moments until your next worry. Everything is eternal, but in the most freeing way, like a perfect sunny Saturday that never ends. This idea of eternity isn't meant to scare you. On the contrary, it's meant to inspire. Who wouldn't want a haven where joy doesn't have an expiration date? And here's the wildest part. This joy isn't some abstract, unreachable concept. It's described as God's constant presence, like He's right there with you, sharing every smile and every moment of renewal. Imagine walking alongside Him through a field where nature is at its absolute best. Every leaf, every flower seeming like it was hand-painted just to captivate you. For anyone who's had their share of hard days, this promise of a place without suffering sounds like music to the ears, doesn't it? Think about all the times you've wished for a fresh start, a chance to set down the weight of life's problems and just be. In heaven, that wish becomes reality. It's a place where forgiveness reigns, and emotional scars are replaced with a love that heals everything. Now I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds way too good to be true. But hold on a second. The Bible itself talks about this renewal as something within reach for everyone who chooses to follow the path of faith. It's not about deserving it. It's about grace. It's a gift, freely given, waiting for us to accept with open hearts. And what if you could bring a little bit of that renewal into your life right now? Maybe start with something simple. Set aside a moment to reflect on your life or read a psalm that fills you with peace. Small actions like these can serve as windows into that promised future. After all, if God's presence can transform your present, imagine what He can do in a place where His glory is infinite. But here's the thing. Heaven isn't just about endless joy and eternal renewal. There's something more, something that goes beyond our imagination and ties the present to the future. Curious to know what that is? Stick with me, because we're only just scratching the surface of the mysteries of this heavenly home. Picture this, walking through gates made of massive pearls, each one carved with a perfection that could only come from the hands of the Creator Himself. Heaven is described as a holy city of indescribable beauty, where every single detail radiates divine majesty. The streets? They're made of pure gold, but not the kind of gold we're used to here, full of flaws. No, this gold is like crystal, reflecting God's light in every direction and creating a spectacle no human mind could ever dream up. And the walls? Oh, they're not there to divide or keep anyone out, but to proclaim the greatness of this dwelling place. Built from precious stones like jasper, sapphire, and emerald, they shimmer as if the heavens themselves were placed within them. It's almost like each stone is telling a story, a tale of redemption and glory. Imagine walking through this city and feeling the divine presence with every step you take. At the center flows the river of life, so crystal clear it looks like liquid from another world. This river isn't just a beautiful feature, it represents the very source of life flowing straight from the throne of God. Now picture the sound of that river, gentle yet powerful, as if every drop harmonizes with the celestial music all around. It's the kind of beauty that you don't just see, you feel it in your soul. And then there's the tree of life. It's not just a symbol here, it's real. Picture a tree whose leaves bring healing to the nations and whose fruit nourishes the soul. Every piece of fruit is unique, a personal gift to those who dwell there. This tree isn't just there for decoration. It's a timeless reminder of God's plan to restore everything that was lost. Now think about it. What would it be like to live in a place where every structure, every corner, is designed to reflect God's glory? No imperfections, no shadows of sadness. Even the light doesn't come from the sun or the moon, but directly from God, illuminating everything with a purity that defies human understanding. Here's the thing. This isn't just about stunning architecture. It's about meaning. Every detail in heaven speaks of a God who doesn't do anything halfway. He's created a place where design and purpose come together in perfect harmony. Every gate, every street, every river is there for a reason, like pieces of a masterpiece that all point to His glory. And you know what's even more amazing? This breathtaking setting isn't just for admiring. It's the perfect stage for something even greater. Curious to find out what that is? Stick around, because the next part will uncover an aspect of heaven that goes far beyond anything you could imagine. Imagine a place where worship never gets old, where every moment feels fresh and alive. In heaven, worship isn't just a ritual. It's a constant state of awe and deep connection with God. Every second, new facets of His glory are revealed, filling hearts with an indescribable sense of wonder. Think about it. Even here on earth, we get chills when a song moves us deeply. Now multiply that feeling infinitely. That's what heavenly worship is like. And don't think for a second it'll be boring, like singing the same song over and over. In heaven, creativity knows no limits. Hymns and melodies that have never been heard before flow effortlessly, and every word, every note, reflects God's divine beauty. Have you ever had that magical moment when it feels like a song was written just for you? Imagine experiencing that every single day, but on a whole new level. Worship there isn't just about singing or playing instruments. It's a way of life, an expression of who we are in God. Every movement, every action becomes a way to honor Him. Even something as simple as walking or soaking in the beauty around you will be infused with gratitude and praise. Picture being so connected to God that even silence becomes a prayer. Here's another incredible detail. Every creative gift God has given will finally reach its full potential. That talent you never had the chance to fully explore here on earth, it'll flourish in heaven. Do you love drawing, painting, writing, or crafting something with your hands? In heaven, those abilities will become perfect expressions of worship. It's like every creation will declare, "This is for you, Lord." And the best part? There'll be no competition or comparison. Everyone will worship in their own unique way, blending together in perfect harmony. Imagine a choir where every voice is distinct, yet they come together to create a melody so breathtaking, it sends shivers through your soul. That's the essence of heavenly worship. Diversity in complete unity. What's more, worship in heaven is an endless source of joy. Every act of praise feels like it fills you up with a fresh dose of peace and happiness. Here on earth, even doing what we love can leave us drained sometimes. But in heaven, worshiping God is energizing. It's a never-ending cycle of giving and receiving, where each moment is more fulfilling than the last. But here's the kicker. Worship in heaven isn't just about joy and beauty. It's laying the foundation for something even greater. It's preparing us for a purpose-filled, active calling. Wondering what that could be? Stick with me, because this story is far from over. In heaven, eternity doesn't mean sitting around doing nothing. God, in His infinite wisdom, created a place where each person will have a unique purpose, perfectly aligned with their gifts and talents. Think about it. Have you ever imagined what it'd be like to fully use everything you are, without limits, for something truly amazing? In heaven, every role will be a perfect reflection of what God always intended for you to be. One of the most fascinating ideas described is the concept of ruling cities and nations. Imagine being entrusted with the care of a place, not with the stress or imperfections we deal with here on earth, but with the joy of knowing everything is in perfect harmony with God's will. It's like being an administrator, but in such a fulfilling way that every decision brings peace and happiness to everyone involved. And here's the real kicker. We'll even be called to judge angels. Yep, you heard that right. The Bible mentions that those in heaven will have the authority to take on this role. Can you believe that? Even in the presence of such powerful beings, God would entrust us with such an incredible responsibility. It just goes to show how much He values those who follow Him. But these roles aren't just about authority. They're about fully exploring what it means to be human. God gave us intellectual, emotional, and creative capacities, and in heaven, all of those abilities will be magnified. Imagine leading, creating, or teaching without ever feeling tired, doubtful, or making mistakes. Every task will be an opportunity to reflect God's glory in a way that's uniquely yours. What's even more amazing is that these roles won't exist in isolation. In heaven, we'll work together as a perfect community where every role complements the others. Have you ever thought about how incredible it would be to collaborate with others without any selfishness or conflict? It'll be like every action is a puzzle piece, coming together to form a beautiful picture of perfect harmony. And for anyone worried about the idea of responsibility, know this. In heaven, there's no stress, no pressure. Every task will be filled with such a deep sense of purpose that the work itself will feel more enjoyable than any leisure activity we know here. It's the kind of work that doesn't just fill your time, it nourishes your soul. All of this leads to something even deeper, the chance to learn and grow endlessly. In heaven, these roles are just the starting point of an eternal journey of discovery. Curious about what that means? Stick with me, because the next part goes beyond anything we can see or imagine. In heaven, learning will never end. Unlike here, where knowledge is often limited by time or circumstances, there, every discovery will be an exciting journey into God's wisdom. Imagine diving into the wonders of creation, from the tiniest details that make up life to the vast secrets of the universe. Every new piece of knowledge will be another part of an infinite puzzle, revealing even more about who God is. Now think about this. What if you could ask God directly about those deep questions that have always intrigued you? In heaven, that connection will be so real that every doubt can be cleared up with perfect simplicity and clarity. Picture yourself asking about the mysteries of time, space, or even moments in your own life that never made sense. Every answer will come with a sense of peace and understanding that's beyond anything we've ever experienced. Learning will also include an immersive dive into God's story. You'll be able to revisit His great works throughout history, like a living book unfolding before your eyes. You'll see how He was present in every detail, even during the hardest times. This won't just be inspiring, it'll fill you with a profound sense of purpose and gratitude. But don't think it's all theoretical. In heaven, every lesson will be hands-on and engaging. Imagine experiencing the laws of the universe so clearly that you can live them and apply them in ways you never thought possible. It's like studying physics while walking through the cosmos, or learning about music while listening to the symphony composed by the Creator himself. And here's the cool part. Learning will be a shared journey. There will be constant exchange among heaven's inhabitants, with everyone sharing what they've learned and enriching each other's experiences. Imagine hearing stories from people of every era and culture, each one showing how God worked in their lives. That diversity will be one of heaven's greatest treasures. You know what's even better? In heaven, you'll never feel the frustration we sometimes experience here when we can't grasp something. Every new piece of knowledge will come with immense joy, like the excitement of a child discovering something amazing for the first time. This endless cycle of discovery will make eternity feel fresh and thrilling, always full of wonder. But heaven isn't just a place of learning and discovery. It's also a place of reunions that transcend time and space. Want to know what it'll be like to see your loved ones again? Stick around, because the next part will touch your heart in ways you can't imagine. In heaven, reunions will feel like hugs that never end. Imagine seeing your loved ones again, but on a whole new level. Deeper, richer, and free from pain, misunderstandings, or goodbyes. Every encounter will be marked by a pure love that bonds souls in perfect connection. Think about all those times you wished for just one more moment with someone you cared about. Well, in heaven, that wish becomes an eternal reality. But these reunions won't just be limited to family and friends. In heaven, we'll meet people from every era and corner of the world, forming a community as diverse as it is united. Imagine sitting down with someone who lived centuries ago and hearing firsthand how God worked in their life. These stories will be living testimonies of divine grace, inspiring us over and over again. The heavenly community will be defined by perfect harmony. Here on earth, even the best relationships can have their struggles, but in heaven there will be no selfishness, jealousy, or misunderstandings. Every interaction will reflect peace and righteousness, as if everyone is perfectly in tune with God's heart. Picture a place where every word and gesture brings joy, with no room for confusion or hurt feelings. What's even more amazing is that in heaven, everyone will be equal before God, yet uniquely themselves. Individuality will be celebrated within unity. It's like a grand symphony, where every note, no matter how different, comes together to create a flawless melody. This sense of togetherness will be a reflection of God's boundless love and creativity. And how about meeting angels? In heaven, we'll finally get the chance to interact with these beings who were quietly by our sides throughout our lives. It'll be like meeting a lifelong friend you've never seen, hearing their perspective on moments of danger, joy, and faith. Imagine the excitement of learning about the times your faith was strengthened through their unseen interventions. This heavenly community won't just be about fellowship. It'll be a place of constant celebration. Joy-filled gatherings and feasts will be part of the rhythm of eternity, each one more special than the last. Picture a banquet where everyone's invited, and every moment is filled with laughter, shared stories, and praise. That's just a glimpse of what's waiting for us. And speaking of celebration, there's something even greater than these reunions and moments of communion. Something that ties all these promises together into a destiny that feels both familiar and completely new. Want to know what that is? Stick with me, because we're at the point where everything connects. So what did you think of this incredible vision of heaven? Could you picture each detail, every promise, and all the moments God has prepared? Now that you know what's waiting for us, it's hard not to reflect on how we're living today. Are we ready to embrace all of this? More importantly, what can we do right now to get closer to that reality? After all, it's not just about waiting passively. Every choice we make here has a direct impact on eternity. Think about it. What if we started living a life that already reflects a little piece of heaven? Maybe it's forgiving more, showing more gratitude, or dedicating more time to understanding God's Word. The Bible is our guide to this incredible future, so why not start there? I want to challenge you to take the next step. How about setting aside a moment today to reflect on your spiritual journey? Maybe read a psalm, spend some time in prayer, or even share this message with someone who needs to hear about this hope. These are simple but powerful actions that can transform not only your life, but also the lives of those around you. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are you most looking forward to in heaven? Is it that special reunion, eternal peace, or maybe just being in God's presence? Drop a comment below and share what's on your heart. Let's exchange ideas and grow together. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss any content like this. Stick around and check out the other videos popping up on your screen right now. I'm sure they'll inspire you just as much. See you next time. And remember, what God has prepared for us is so much greater than anything we can imagine.